Ma'am, one of your neighbors asked us to check on you.
Is something wrong, officer?
They said no one had seen you outside in weeks, and looking at the yard, they were worried something might have happened. Officer, is everything okay?
She's all right. We were just making sure she was safe.
Yeah. Then if she doesn't mind, I'd like to take care of the yard for her.
If taking care of the yard could give her one less thing to worry about, then the first thing I wanted to understand was why it had become too much for her in the first place. I walked over, introduced myself, and asked if she would mind telling me what had happened. Before I tell you the rest of this story, comment which U.S. state you're watching from, and let's see if we can get all 50 states in the comments. The elderly woman smiled politely before another cough interrupted her. After catching her breath, she explained that she had been battling a stubborn lung infection for the past several weeks. Even simple chores around the house left her exhausted, and her doctor had warned her to avoid anything too physically demanding until she recovered. She looked out at the yard and quietly said, "Every morning I tell myself I'll mow it tomorrow. But tomorrow keeps getting farther away." She went on to explain that her son and daughter lived in another state. They called her every day and often offered to drive over or hire someone to take care of the yard, but she always told them not to worry. They have their own families, their own jobs, and their own responsibilities, she said. The last thing I want is for them to make a long trip just because my grass got too tall. Hearing that, I realized this wasn't a family that didn't care. It was a mother who had spent her whole life putting her children first and still didn't want to burden them, even now. I smiled and said, "Then today, let me take one thing off your mind." She looked at me with tears beginning to fill her eyes and quietly replied, "Thank you." I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that. I unloaded my equipment and began by trimming the overgrown grass along the sidewalk before reopening the walkway leading to the front porch. Then I edged the driveway and curb before mowing the entire front yard. After that, I removed the vines growing along the fence, cleared the overgrown grass around, and moved into the backyard to mow the entire lawn there. Once the larger areas were finished, I used my string trimmer around the trees, fence posts, and every corner the mower couldn't reach. Finally, I used the blower to clear away all the grass clippings from the sidewalks, driveway, porch, and patio, leaving the entire property looking neat again. When everything was finished, the elderly woman slowly stepped outside and looked across the yard in silence. She smiled through her tears before turning to me and saying, "When my children call tonight, I can't wait to show them this. They'll stop worrying about me for a little while." She thanked both me and the police officer before adding something I'll always remember. Sometimes the greatest kindness isn't doing everything for someone. It's easing a burden they didn't want anyone else to carry. If this story touched your heart, comment "home" if you believe even the strongest parents deserve a helping hand sometimes. Tag someone in your state who'd love this story. And if you believe kindness can lighten someone's burden, please like, share, and follow for more heartfelt lawn care stories. Thank you so much for watching.